When BP made a commitment to the Gulf, we knew it would take time, but we were determined to see it through. Today, while our work continues, I want to update you on the progress. I'm glad to report all beaches and waters are open for everyone to enjoy.
On April 20th, 2010, the Deepwater Horizon oil rig exploded 41 miles off the Louisiana coast. 11 rig workers died. The well hemorrhaged oil for 87 days, 210 million gallons spilled into the ocean. Desperate to clean up the mess, the EPA allowed British Petroleum, the well's operator, to use a product called Corexit to break up the oil. Corexit is hazardous to humans and, when combined with oil, to marine life. One study found the mix was 52 times more toxic than oil alone.
This oil spill is the worst environmental disaster America has ever faced.
A wave of new research is revealing the disaster caused far more damage than previously estimated. But for those who've lived with the consequences, that's no surprise.
The bayou was my sanctuary. I didn't have a real good home life.
Kendra Arneson has been fishing since 6th grade.
So my great escape was the bayou with the fishermen. You know, they took me under their wing. I went out there and oysters with them, and then as I got older, I started doing shrimping and gill netting and stuff for fin fish. You know, I could have ended up in a real bad situation at that age, and those guys seen something in me I didn't see in myself, and I'm forever grateful to them for that.
When the Deepwater Horizon disaster shut down the fisheries, she had to pivot from fishing to fighting and became an advocate for Louisiana's fishing industry.
Good morning. Look, we got a meeting on the 7th for the boats for the harbor. I'm Kendra Arneson. David's my husband. We fish and shrimp, and I'm a board member of Louisiana Shrimp Association. You have one already? Okay, I'll leave one with you guys.
It's been a difficult 10 years, and fishers are struggling to stay afloat.
As a community, we're on the brink of going away. Last year and the year before, we're bringing in about 29 or 30 million, 31 million pounds. So we're down by 70 million pounds of shrimp. That's a lot of food.
Marine species are making a slow recovery, but the spill left lasting scars on the people who helped clean up the mess. Along with thousands of fishers, oil workers, and coastal residents, David and Kendra came into contact with a potent mix of oil and Corexit.
They had an emergency opening on the east side of our peninsula for shrimpers to go out before the oil hit. And my husband was one of them. And most of them returned home before the fishing hours were over because they were becoming ill from smelling it. David hasn't been the same since.
Reports found that cleanup workers were supplied with minimal PPE and experienced serious health effects. According to BP settlement documents, people living along the Gulf Coast may have experienced the same symptoms of chemical exposure.
Every time I turned around, somebody I knew was being diagnosed with some form of cancer, whether it be thyroid, brain, lung, liver, kidney, stomach, intestinal, pancreatic. Some of them have, expired because of this. They've passed away.
In the largest environmental damage settlement in U.S. history, BP agreed to pay $20.8 billion. But that amount doesn't cover medical costs. So cleanup workers and residents are still suing BP as new health problems appear.
I think there's 5,000 medical claims that are still in litigation. But as far as most people, they've given up on that at this point.
The EPA has found evidence that Corexit is equally hazardous to other dispersants and still advises using it for oil spills. So in January, Kendra joined a lawsuit, hoping to force the agency to advise safer ways of responding in the future.
They're trying to expand oil and gas drilling all over the place.
So it's not if it's when this comes to a shoreline near you. That's why people should care about it.